You're watching us here on a fresh new episode of The Weekender on CNBC-TV18. It's been 10 years since Varun Berry joined Britannia. In this period, the company's revenues have doubled, but the profits have quadrupled. He hasn't spoken to the media in a while, so we thought why not pin him down in his office in Bengaluru and have a conversation, not about the past, but about the future. For the first time, we also have with us the CEO of Britannia, Rajneet Kohli, joining in. Come in. Very well, it's been so long. Varun, 10 years at Britannia. I mean, I just was calculating a few years at Pepsi. It's about 17, I guess.
18.
18 years at Pepsi.
Yeah.
7 years at Unilever.
That's right.
10 years at Britannia. You've worked for longer than I've been born. Do you realize that?
I realize that, and I see that as well. Young boy.
Sorry, just pulling your leg out there. But
Yeah.
before the pandemic, you had set yourself onto this total food company path as well,
Yeah.
which of course fell by the wayside during the pandemic, and
Yes.
now you are bringing that up as well. So that is the real thing. What next for you? 10 years here. What's next?
So that's a good point. So if you think about it, while we saw a huge momentum in the business during the pandemic, what really happened was that this whole strategy of total foods, etc., just fell by the wayside. And the reason for that was that the demand was high, and for us to be able to get our products to the maximum capacity, we optimized it, and we said we will only produce 10 brands of, we will just produce
The 80-20
these
principle.
SKUs, right? So that we could get maximum runs, etc. So this entire whole, total foods, etc., fell by the wayside. Now getting that back, we have got it back. In the last year or so, we've got the whole croissant JV back on track. It's doing really well. We've recently announced our cheese JV with Bell. We are getting traction on some of the adjacency products as well. Cake is back. Cake was, on the go. So it was affected very badly during the pandemic. We're getting it back. We've got the momentum there. So now is the time for us to get back on stream with our total foods dream, and make sure that we get new products to the fore, we get new connections with consumers, with new offerings, and that's what we are looking forward to.
What does the market look like right now for you? I mean, during the pandemic, there was this surge of artisanal players. There was this surge of new categories coming in, D2C guys. Everyone is familiarized with a lot of other things. So do you think that put you all back by a little bit, and you'll have to climb a little harder to get back with the innovations, etc.?
Yes, probably. So as I was telling you, it set us back by a few years on new products because we didn't have the capacity nor the bandwidth to do it. But what we've done now is we've come back with a renewed focus and a lot of passion on this. And yes, it'll take us a little longer. And what we have done is the new businesses, we've set it up as agile teams, right? So the decision-making processes are much shorter. They report directly to me. I take very quick decisions, and they get what they need. And I think that is working quite well for us, and that's showing in our new business, results as well.
So how long before the core actually gets cracking at a much faster pace, so to say?
Well, see, you're right. The fact is that when your business is large, it becomes very difficult for the smaller businesses to start to contribute big numbers. But if each one of these was to contribute 1%, and let's say we had 5 of these, that would mean 5% to the overall business, and that's a big deal. But we are hoping that that 5% becomes 10% over the years, and we are able to get, more and more to the pie.
So your core grows at about 10% volumes. That's what you've, your aspiration has been medium to long term. The adjacencies add in another 5%, growing faster than the base. So, increasing in contribution. Your international business grows a little faster than that. And then you have some cream, so to say, coming on top from maybe some newer categories that you enter, your capacities, etc. Are we looking at mid-teens, high-teens sort of growth for the next foreseeable future?
Well, that's the aspiration, Mangalam, for sure. If I was to write a strategic plan for the next 10 years, that would be my target.
What other things would your strategic plan include?
Well, you know it all. See, I've not made any dramatic changes from a strategic standpoint ever since I joined, right? It's been incremental. It's been more of the same, but with renewed focus and renewed execution. So I would keep the same. It's all about getting into other categories, growing the core, but also getting into new categories, growing those faster, making sure that we will not be able to get the kind of profit growth that we've seen in the past, but making sure that you inch your way up even in profitability.
You said that profitability may not grow as fast as it has grown in the past, of course, on account of the high base as well. And a lot of the low-hanging fruits, so to say, were shaken away. How much more is there potential of incremental cost savings?
So cost savings, as you know, Mangalam, we've been saving almost 2% for the last 8 years.
Yes.
Right? And this year it's going to be 2.5%. So I've been asked this question forever.
Yes.
Right? That, how long are you going to get this 2% out? And we proved it this year that we can even get more than 2%. You're probably going to get 2.5% because the inflation was so high. We really redoubled onto that, saving platform.
You've reduced the distance that an average truck of Britannia travels.
Yeah.
Give me some other examples where you see scope for costs to reduce.
So we are a baking company. A lot of cost in energy itself because we bake products. There's a lot of energy which is required. And that's one of our biggest platforms. If you think about it, we've got so many factories and so many baking lines. We keep tightening the technology. We've also got this new oven which is called the 21C oven, which is patented.
Okay.
So all of those things, that's our biggest area of focus. How do we get savings out of the process of baking? The government has come up with some very good initiatives. The PLI scheme, we've invested 611 crores during this period for PLI. That's going to give us some money in the kitty. Similarly, the new technologies that we are bringing are giving us savings, not just from a baking perspective, even from a labor perspective, reducing labor, automating our machines, etc.
So now with the gross margin benefits coming to you and all these incremental cost benefits that you are looking at, are we looking at Ebitda back to the 19% plus levels that we once saw during the pandemic when things were good for you in terms of cost and demand?
We are in a place where we've sort of got all our inflation, outweighed by either price increase or cost savings. So we are in a good place, and I think we are pretty much, at the level that we were at the pre-COVID kind of levels.
I was looking at your ad spends. As a percentage of sales, it's still very measly as compared to some of the other FMCG companies, etc. as well. I mean, 3 to 4%. Now that things are okay, are you looking at increasing them as a percentage of your sales?
So yes, our ad spends did, take a back seat during the pandemic. We are not a category which spends too much money on ads, and because of the size, even a 4%, 4.5% means there's enough money to give the right kind of weightage to most of our brand. For the new categories, for the new innovation products, even within core categories, we spend a lot of money. And if that's the way we have to get our brands in front of the consumers, we will do that.
What's your ideal revenue mix coming in from biscuits and the non-biscuit portfolio? How much that comes from dairy and all the NPDs that you keep talking about, new products, etc., which currently are about 3.5%. What is your ideal revenue mix?
So
in that strategic plan that you spoke about?
So 10 years from today, 5 years from today, 2
3,
years?
5, 10, give me all of that.
Oh my
The
God.
glide path.
Okay, so I would say 3 years, at least 35% of our revenue needs to come from outside of biscuits, right? 5 years, almost 40-45 needs to come from, adjacency categories, which is outside of biscuits. And ideally, in let's say 10 years, it should be a 50-50 portfolio.
And all of this while the core grows at 10% at least, right?
Yes.
So that means that we are planning a roadmap to 50,000 crores in terms of revenues. I mean, you've done the company from 6,500 to around 15,000 crores now. The road is 30-50. Is that what you're thinking?
Okay. You're putting me under pressure. But yes.
It's the sun. That's not me.
You're getting baked right now. While I'm in the shade. Yeah.
That's my cue. Let's move in. But before we do that, actually, I'll pick up my favorite Britannia cookie from this.
Same.
You like ginger?
I love ginger.
Oh, let's go cheers on ginger. There's this trend of people moving towards healthier products, less sugar, less gluten. Do you think this is a structural mega trend for the next generation of customers? Or do you think this is just one set of customers for which you have to make products?
So I think more of the latter. But yes, there is that tip of the pyramid which is looking for very different, very healthy, offerings. So that's what we are looking at. We're looking at differentiated offerings which are there, but not distributed across the 6.3 million outlets that we get to.
How long before UP becomes indexed to the national average that you have, and not just UP, all the other states that you're focusing on, the Hindi belt?
So UP is it's the second largest state for us today, right? Or the third largest state after Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. And just to let you know, we are putting up a mega plant in UP. So with that, and one more piece of information that I want to share with you is that wherever we put up a factory, our share has gone up by at least 4 share points.
What are the other places?
No, we've got factories all over.
No, the new ones which are coming. So I'm calculating the 4% jump there.
So we've got one in UP. Tamil Nadu, of course, we've already got a very high share. We've got one factory coming up in Bihar, where also our share is much more than what it is in the other parts of the Hindi belt, but we are looking forward to growth there as well. Overall, Hindi belt, everywhere we've not made the same kind of progress that we made in UP. There are some states where we haven't made enough progress, namely Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh are two states where we really have to make sure that we get more traction. In fact, just to talk, tell you about my experiences. Rajasthan is the only state where I was down to a village and I was doing a market visit, and I met this outlet owner and I was talking to him. Usually I go and talk to these guys and say, would you buy Britannia products? And everyone says, yeah, if you go to a small village, someone will say, koi aata nahi hai. Agar aayega to khareed lenge, Britannia to badi company hai and all that. But here, the guy didn't know Britannia. He said, Britannia? Wo kya hota hai? We only know Parle G. So that was a shock, right? And
How long ago was this?
This was about 3 years ago.
Okay.
So that's one state where we really have to make very, very we have to redouble our efforts to make sure that we get to where we want to, and similarly Madhya Pradesh. So there are pockets where we still have to do a lot of hard work, and hence there's a lot of juice in the Hindi belt.
Speak about juice, my mind automatically goes to the dairy part of the business. I mean, the challenges that you're facing out there, the opportunities, where do you see that business?
Now with our own factory coming up, with efficiencies coming to the fore, our joint venture with Bell, etc., we are really looking forward to it. I think that's one category where we can make great progress in terms of taking our business multifold to where it has been. And you know that we've been in this business for 25 years, but we haven't even cracked $100 million till now, right? So hopefully with all this happening, the back end, the joint venture and all of that, we should be able to build a reasonably large business for ourselves in dairy.
Define reasonably large.
So I would say in 5 years we should be touching we should be over 2,000 crores in terms of turnover.
They say that, it is difficult to sustain outperformance every time. How do you keep yourself motivated? How does the chairman keep you motivated?
Well, the chairman and me, we've developed a great relationship over the years, and frankly, we motivate each other, and it's not anything else. I think it's the business which motivates me. It's the progress that we make on the business.
So for now, you're here for good?
I'm here till I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I think that's what matters to me. And I don't see myself not enjoying this in a hurry. So I'm here, for some years.
And are the Wadias here as well for this business? Nothing happening in Britannia, right?
They love this business. So Mr. Wadia just loves Britannia. In fact, he tells me that when he wants to relax, he sets up a meeting with us. He says it's so relaxing to have a Britannia meeting, and so he just loves this business, and he's going to be very closely associated with this business for a very long time.
Right, and even their future generations, etc., all of them and stuff. Yeah. You are looking at other parts of the Wadia group, etc., as well. Word on the street is that they consider you as important to the Wadia group as they would consider Mr. Chandra to the Tata group. Is that?
I think that's not even a fair comparison. Mr. Chandra has a lot more credibility than I can ever have.
You've also given day-to-day responsibilities of the company to Rajneet Kohli.
Yes, so he is he's joined us about 3 months ago, and he comes with great credentials with Coke and Domino's. So he's here. He's been wetting his feet and understanding the company and the operations. And yes, he's going to do the day-to-day running of the company while I continue to do the overall tutelage.
He's here, so should I take the liberty of, or rather the audacity of asking him to?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Hey. Hi, Mangalam. How are you? Finally. Yes. Pleasure.
What has your experience been so far?
Mangalam, firstly, it's been amazing 3 months for me. I mean,
you're not just saying that because Varun is next to you, right?
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no. That's interesting.
No, but to be very honest, I don't believe that I've been here for 3 months. The welcome has been amazing welcome. And in the last 3 months, my agenda was very simple and discussed with Varun was, 3 things to look at. One is to listen, learn, and connect with people.
And eat as many cookies as you can.
Yes, that's a privilege of the job as well.
You also have worked at Jubilant Foodworks before. They say it's a software company that delivers pizzas as well. So what are the digital initiatives that you'd be taking here in Britannia?
The 3 vitamin D, if I may call, for Britannia in my own head is distribution, data, and being digital.
Right. Varun, he is a man of alliterations. He's been using 3Ds and multiple S's and all of that and stuff. All the software changes that you did, the upgradations that you did in your back end, they've come to fruition right now?
They're doing really well.
They're doing well.
I don't know if we are using them to the level that we should get to, or is there, well, I'm very clear that there is space there. So, and that is what Rajneet needs to bring to the table.
And the 2.6 million direct reach that you have, the 28,000 rural distributors that you have right now, do you have any targets for increasing those?
Yes, absolutely. So, it won't be at the same clip as we've been doing in the past, but we will continue to increase our direct distribution. Rural is a big opportunity. We weed out the bad ones, we get in new ones, and we keep adding areas.
What's your
and villages.
rural-urban revenue split right now?
So it's 65-35.
And you've gained market share for 38 quarters. What does it stand at right now?
It's almost a third of the market now. In a lot of the premium categories, we are over 50%. So 1/3 of the market is because in the value categories, we are single digit.
Are your hands full, or are there further categories that you're looking at, and is there any room for acquisition?
Our hands are never full. No, so we are looking at multiple categories at the same time.
A lot of savory snacks are white spaces. Protein is suddenly becoming one of those, healthy bars, etc. We saw a recent deal happen out there as well. I'm just trying to read into what y'all are reading into.
You've got a strategic mind, I must say. You're reading all the right things. So yes, we are looking at all of those and more.
What is all of those?
Well, you just spoke about protein bars, you spoke about salty snacks, all of those. We're looking at all of those.
There are a bunch of questions that I've written. So let's talk about the prepared part of this interview. And both of you will have to answer this.
Okay, can I also take on?
Yes, please. Your answer sheet. Okay. Your favorite Britannia product right now?
Jim Jam.
NutriChoice.
A competitor's product that you really like?
Lay's.
None actually. I like the Britannia products the best.
A potential competitor that you are eyeing very closely?
I would say Reliance.
Same here.
A product that you dislike, which you saw in the market?
I'll have a list as big as this building.
Give me two.
So I frankly, I don't like some of these new cake products which are coming out. The 5 rupee cakes which are like rubber. And so what it's doing is it's catering to the base of the market, but they're horrible products.
Certain energy drinks that are coming in, neither they're tasty, neither they're doing anything good for anybody else. So don't like that.
A category you wish you were in right now, much earlier than you wanted to be in?
So if aspirationally, if I feel that I don't have a right to succeed, but I should have been in that category, probably chocolates. Because that's one category which is just going through the roof. And a category which I would like to be, which is nascent, is the protein bars that you're talking about. It's small today, but if you look at the US, it's, the multitude of brands there is huge, and it's going to come to India as well.
Snacking side as well. I would say that, while we don't have the right to succeed at this, we need to have a differentiated product.
An overrated category. We have overvalued stocks in the market, but an overrated category, which everyone's eyeing, but is perhaps not as great.
So value-added dairy, I would say. So while dairy in India is very large, if you look at the value-added dairy, it's a very small category. And the hope is that we'll be able to blow it apart.
What have you learned from Varun in the last 3 months?
Lead with humble confidence.
And what is the one thing that you learned from him in the last 3 months?
To learn well.
That was a great one. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining in and breaking biscuit with me.
Good to see you.
Pleasure.